think twice.
Yep. Well, Spectre, Heart of Taras coming soon with this Reaver pickup.
Yeah.
At that point, his survivability just becomes insane. Tiny's going to have an AC soon, which is going to be nice and all, but it feels like this is just a Tiny carry game. The Wisp is never really being able to buff up Resolution because of what everyone else on the Asus.Polar side is doing. So Resolution's going to do a lot on his own. BKB a must pick up after this ACI field, and maybe then Empire can look to do a better team fight. Because this is a Tiny with not just the Wisp, but Empower, remember, as well. That's the other crazy thing. This Tiny's not getting kills now that we're in this mid-game stage.
They just crowd control him. The strategy is put the Tiny in the Tornado and kill all of his friends. And then we can just gang up on him, 4v1, 5v1, what have you. Another smoke from Asus.Polar. They find Always Want to Fly. They bring him down right away. Empire, do they jump in here or do they back out? It looks like it's the latter. Illidan haunts in.
Awkward dagger. I'm not sure where that dagger was going.
Aloha Dance tethers to the Tiny, and looks like they will be able to get away.
Yeah. Well, they're still chasing.
TP out.
They're trying to force her maybe a relocate. Okay, Wisp also has a TP.
Yep. And they'll both survive. Nicely done by Empire there. So just the death on the Shadow Demon. Nothing game-breaking at this point.
A smoke and a haunt, but
yep.
I mean, for Asus.Polar, they'll just say, okay, that wasn't the outcome we were hoping for, but now we go back to farming. Yep. Bruise Refresher, he's more than halfway there. The Heart of Taras coming soon as well, as mentioned.
Yeah, Phobos, level 18. Ooh, he's going to be scary with that double ultimate. The defensive weave flies through as Illidan moves up to the high ground. Roche not coming up anytime soon, so they get past that initial timer.
Should be probably pushing out the top lane. I guess Spectre can't really push out top lane because he doesn't have Horn. He wants to be ready to fight, and no one really can afford to go top lane because there's constant action here. Empire will take any opportunity they can to go for a fight now that there's no Horn up.
Tiny closing in on the Assault Karas, but Wisp hit by the dagger. Stampede used to buy Aloha Dance some time. He does not have a TP. Long-range tether to Resolution. Looks like he'll be able to make it out, but meanwhile on the other side, Always Want to Fly again. Left behind, gets off the disruption onto Phobos, but still falls. Okay.
Empire just unable to, they can't take objectives anymore. They are hoping that Asus.Polar tries split up a bit more so they can go for pickoffs using the Centaur and the relocates, but haven't been able to do anything. And all these kills they've been giving away has suddenly turned this game around. It's Asus.Polar with a gold advantage, with a massive XP advantage, and
Empire just not coordinating. We've seen a couple of fights now where Yoki hasn't been able to use the RP, and a lot of that is because he can't find a good opening to actually use it to much avail. But to me, that means Empire, maybe they need to be the aggressors that smoke up and actually move his 5 to try and catch them off guard.
I think they want Roshan again. They want to try...
And a BKB on Yoki. Maybe that's what they were waiting for.
BKB on Resolution. He goes to the AC, which is fine. You want to get this eventually, but until he has a BKB... You mentioned the Cyclone. Every single fight, Brewer's throwing up in the air with a Cyclone. If not that, it's the Drunken Haze. He cannot fight without a BKB. He's doing no damage. The evasion, the Cyclones, he's being dealt with perfectly by Asus.Polar. And I'm perplexed he didn't go for a BKB before the AC. The AC is fantastic item on a Tiny, but he desperately needs a BKB.
Yeah. Well, luckily for Empire, Tiny is still strong in the late game, still farming higher than the Spectre, so they can afford to sit back and farm a little bit longer. Asus.Polar probably not going to close this one out before Tiny can farm up Magic Immunity, though he does now have the Heart of Tarask, and that'll put Spectre at about 2,500 HP alongside the Vanguard. Down bottom, Resolution and Aloha Dance starting to pressure the base, and Asus.Polar are going to have to decide how they want to handle this. Roche up in about 8 seconds. Empire hoping that they'll just TP back, and then they can secure the Roshan pit.
Well, you're asking how the late game kind of matches up with Tiny vs. Spectre. We're there now, and this is going to be constant split push. Resolution gets a tier 3 even.
Easy. Free tier 3. Illidan TP's back.
Yeah. And the burst damage not really there, so they're pretty reliant that they can get a relocate out from the Wish should they need it, and they're actually going to go once again in the bottom lane, or at least stick around. It's going to be constant split push, make Asus.Polar uncomfortable with the pressure you apply to the lanes without taking fights. It's pressure without fighting.
Always Want to Fly, moving around in the dire jungle, all by his lonesome. And it looks like Asus.Polar will TP back. They know that their barracks are exposed now. The range barracks even down to half health. They have a glyph, but respecting the power of the Tiny with Empower, knowing how quickly he can flash push structures.
Yeah. So, Illidan,
it's a 4-on-4. No Dazzle, no Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
But Empire will just back up.
Illidan's heart just gives him too much survivability at this point. I guess if you use RP with the Tiny, you can maybe kill him off, but probably takes a bit too much to be able to fight him. And well, guess what? He's got all the backup in the world, so there's no killing him here. This Venge Dazzle support duo is just incredible late game. That's, I think, part of the reason Asus.Polar like picking these supports. We saw their average match time leak, and it's like 42 minutes, higher than almost any team here. And they pick supports which do amazingly well in the late game.
Yeah, you're right. Dazzle, Venge don't fall off nearly as hard as some other supports. Weave, always strong, shallow grave, swap. These abilities that no hero level. Roche has respawned. Wisp scouted it out. Asus.Polar have not scouted it out, though. Of course, aware of the timing and know it could be right around the corner. Here's the smoke from Empire, and I think they're going to try to sneak into the pit. Yeah, they ping it out.
Okay, it's a risky move. Illidan, he's nearby, has used his dagger already, and we'll see them for now. I think they see... The problem is Asus.Polar right now are really close by, so if they just ran at Roshan, Empire get team wiped again, most likely.
And Silent, not nearby, will TP to the tier 3. Looking at Radiant Vision, they don't see anyone. Resolution smoke gets broken. The jig is up, and Phobos will blink back to safety.
All right. So Mag's AC as well, going to match the Tiny's one in about 500 gold.
RP on 2. Lil Hardy and FNG in trouble. They get cleaved down by the Tiny. Stampede uses. Illidan haunts right into the fray. Oh, no, that could be costly. Now Phobos comes in. Toss up on Always Want to Fly, and these Broodlings going to do a lot of damage here. Illidan trying to reinitiate. They get the kill onto the Shadow Demon. BKB's popped up plenty for the Dire. Mag trying to do what he can, but it's Illidan locked down and brought down. It's a 1 for 3. Now Mag on the run, and he will be punished. Resolution silenced. Now Mag uses the BKB. Maybe this will be his exodus. Finds an invisibility rune. What a locker.
They have a gem. They have a gem on the Centaur. They're going to go forward with this.
And yep, there you go. They get it. It's a 1 for 4. Empire finally strike back and take the team fight they need on the back of a beautiful RP from Yoki.
The support's getting caught there. What a catastrophe. That's kind of one of those plays where it's like it's been a long day for Asus.Polar. They played that first BO3, but that is not one of those plays that they'd normally be making. They were just in no man's land. Never in any game should the two supports be on the front lines like that, getting caught in a 2-hero RP.
Now Roche available, and Resolution just walks right into the pit. With the 2 core heroes still down for about 20 seconds, they'll be able to just whomp down Roche, and now the Aegis of the Immortal will come right back into his hands. 4,200 gold up on the Tiny right now. Yep. That BKB could be right around the corner, gods.
And I think Empire, I mean, Yoki making a great play there with that RP, and I think he's realizing, like, first opportunity that he can get a good RP off, kill one, even if it's just for one hero, well worth it. Because once the Spectre haunts, he's not getting off a blink RP. He's not finding an RP in a team fight, and that's been the big issue for the last 3 team fights where Empire got team wiped before the one we just saw there. It's been Yoki just having his blink countered by the Spectre haunt and just constantly getting pestered by the Radiant. So he's going to be looking for the earliest possible RP. Supports are actually great targets. These are high-impact supports, as we've said. So you take out the Venge, the Dazzle, Spectre is a whole lot more vulnerable. It's basically what Asus.Polar did to win those team fights. You take out the Shadow Demon, you take out the Wisp, and then everything else is easy. Empire realized, oh, we just got to do the same thing.
Now glancing at the graph, Empire pulling back into the lead in this roller coaster of a net worth graph. Only about 5,000 gold. Nothing insurmountable here. 38 minutes in as it's 32 to 27. Night Stalker's Assault Cross right around the corner, and Phobos with the big pickup, the Refresher Orb.
Ooh, this is... I mean, and this would not have changed that last fight, so you still got to fight smart. It does mean they have much more uptime, so they can take a fight, only have only get maybe 1 kill, and then have that second ultimate for another fight shortly after. That's really the big boost of the Refresh Orb. It doesn't mean they can take those crazy bad fights like they just did, but it means they can, they just be constantly more active.
Tiny does indeed commit to the BKB. Still plenty of gold for buyback if necessary. Aegis of the Immortal with a long duration still to go. Only about a minute and a half into the 5. With a BKB on Tiny, I feel like Asus.Polar have to be very, very careful how they initiate this next fight. This
is a big pickup, and again, it's take out the supports, and Venge and Dazzle, their positioning has to be very cautious because they're not needed to kill those supports. They can stay way back. The Night Stalker runs in with his BKB. Part of the problem is that first few fights going their way, Night Stalker has his full 10-second BKB, so he BKBs, charges past Tiny, and still has a few seconds left on it. But
down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, having a short BKB, this is one of those games where it will matter, for Mag on the Night Stalker especially.
Yep, he'll use Darkness as they pressure up top. That Tier 2 tower is still standing. Empire grouped up as 5 in the bottom right now. That's the lane where the barracks are exposed, the range about at half health. Both sides on opposite quadrants of the map, and we'll see how it transpires. Empire, they want to be the aggressors, though, and put that Aegis of the Immortal to good use. Well, what do Asus.Polar have to deal with the BKB Tiny? I mean, I feel like this next fight, if they get caught out at all, if there's a relocate, Resolution can just cleave down the entire team.
I think, you have to try kite around the BKB and force the BKB early. If someone like DK Phobos goes blinking in with a very early ultimate, Resolution either just says, okay, I'm going to get thrown up in the air by a Cyclone, or if he BKBs for it, he's not going to have a target to hit. He may try clean out the Bruise splits, but one of them has Windwalk and can try get away. You've got the Firearm, which is max movement speed, so there's no real guarantees of kills there. So I think it's all about forcing him to BKB early and then kite around it, or just try jump him such that you can still get him in a Cyclone and take a team fight.
Yeah. Spectre 3,600 gold. 2 minutes left on the Aegis here. What do you think Illidan goes for next?
It's not a bad BKB game, to be honest. It's not like a conventional Spectre
butterfly
item.
game. I mean, Tiny's having some slot issues. He could go for MKB with that last item.
There's a lot of cleave damage.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Cleave is.
This is just such a nice BKB game. I feel.
Okay.
The Craggy is really pesky to deal with if he ever wants to try and fight the Tiny.
Tiny just clearing out this tower through the backdoor protection. He knows no backdoor.
Otherwise, like a Manta style is okay for him.
Good, not great.
A Blade of Alacrity, so maybe a Diffusal coming, but right now it's all about the buyback more than anything.
Could be the Manta too. Tiny with a lot of illusions, and here, that's one of the great things about the Shadow Demon at this stage in the game. You can just abuse illusions. That's risk-free damage on that tower, and that's a pretty good little chunk.
Yep. So I like what Aloha Dance has done with his Wisp. He's sitting on 1,800 HP. He's gone for stats over leveling up Tether. I think this is still a level 1 Tether. We'll see once it expires.
I believe
yeah, he's
so.
level 1 Tether.
6 points in stats now as he dings 18.
Yeah, so he's got Ghost Scepter, Mech, Urn, Wand, everything he can, Strength Treads even, all about boosting up his HP because he realized everything Asus.Polar are going to do is run past everyone to try and, at all costs, kill the Wisp. So rather than, he's not the team medic, he's the guy who needs protection more than anyone right now. So the right build to go for. He may go for something like a BKB after this, pick up an Ogre Club when he can, but for now he's pretty happy with where he is as far as survivability goes.
Yoki's Magnus looking for a refresher, Perseverance, and 2,400 gold. Not that far away. Double RP, always a threat and something to be afraid of. Both teams now starting to respect one another a little more. 32-27. It's been a bloodbath, but things slowing down as both sides farm up their last round of core items and try to wait for the other to make that fatal misstep.
Yeah, Resolution going to fill his last slot with an MKB so he can deal with the Drunken Haze outside of the BKB. Can also deal with the Brewmaster General Evasion and a potential Spectre Butterfly, but I think Spectre should have a pretty good idea that Resolution will be building an MKB regardless this game just because of the Brew.
Yeah, the Drunken Haze and then the Night Stalker on top of it, it's notable for sure, even with the BKB.
So top lane we go, but these are heroes being spotted here. Good vision for Empire, at least at the top lane. They're only ward right now, it looks like, and that actually scouts out multiple heroes heading top, so they have a pretty good idea of where Asus.Polar are on the map.
Yeah, Resolution just moves into the Radiant Jungle, continues cleaving down these neutrals. Centaur getting his next core item, and that's the Shiva's Guard.
Okay, I like this pick. Centaur, pretty beastly late gamer too. I mean, talk about sieging towers with Illusion. Centaur getting return damage, and if he gets like a Heart of Tarrasque as his last item, this is a very tanky Centaur, although doesn't really have the item slots per se to actually fit that one in. And for now, Empire, we're really at this big stalemate. Neither team feels confident they can do anything. The big issue for Asus.Polar is that they're not doing much. It means they're giving up the next Roshan for free to Empire. I don't think that's the biggest deal. Resolution's kind of maxed out. If he wants the MKB, he can't take the Aegis, perhaps. So we do get to that stage where the Aegis may be given to someone like Yoki on the Mag.
Yoki on the Mag. The Wisp has been focused a lot. You just give the Aegis to the Wisp. It's a little unconventional, but he's been the prime target that Asus focus.
I'm all for that. I think that wouldn't be too shabby of an idea.
And this will be next Roche with Cheese, so maybe they could also just give the Cheese to the Wisp, and a lot of options for Empire. Roche will be up, I think, in about 3 minutes. We saw that timer. It's going to be a pretty quick respawn. Definitely not the maximum.
So Diffusal picked up for Illidan. Good damage off of this. The level 2 Diffusal especially gives 35 Agi, one of the most kind of cost-effective Agi items, and a counter to the Ghost Scepter of the Wisp. This Wisp is so important that Illidan was... I feel like that's the main reason this Diffusal was purchased.
Probably.
Also can get rid of the Empower, so if you're fighting the Tiny with
Empower. Out Illidan, RP, skewer
Oh,
back, let that swap! Oh man, Resolution with the BKB
skewer.
on, just cleaving down Illidan. Beautiful Grave, but can they actually turn this around? The first split from the Blue Masters used. Illidan loses the Grave. He's
Buyback
the first
Haunt.
to go down. Instant buyback, Haunt into the fight. There it is. And Empire just need to reset things a little bit here. Aloha Dance getting low in the backlines, but he's still alive. Illidan going deep for this. He gets the kill on the Wisp. Resolution stunned up. His BKB's on cooldown. Illidan very low. If he dies here, the dieback will be costly. Always let it fly. Goes down. Illidan running out of options. Resolution on the other side. The second Brew split used. They isolate Resolution. He falls.
He's got no buyback.
Oh no, he went all in on the MKB. He's 200 gold short. The buyback Haunt crippling Empire. It's a 1 for 3.
That Refresher Brewmaster ultimate as well. This brew from DK Phobos is just going beast mode. That's swap mid-skewer also meant that the team fight happened in a much more favorable position for Asus.Polar. They didn't have to go jumping really far away to take the fight. It was taken around where they were already grouped up as 5.
Is this game without the Tiny? He's down for 55.
They haven't got the best base killing lineup. They're going to go for multiple lanes of racks, which is the safer way to go, but
Refresher, RP, catches only Mag. Isn't enough. Swap on Yoki again, but the BKB's there. FNG isolated, but he's pretty tanky. Mid lane of Barracks go down, and this will at least keep Empire in the game. Asus happy to get the Barracks, and we'll just retreat off that.
Disruption will catch out Lil, and he's going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Yep.
Not getting another lane of racks. That's the really good news. Oh, great. Ooh. I guess he had no TP,
yeah,
but
he was
if he had a
no
TP, it would have been a cute little save. But
okay, so again, Asus.Polar striking back here and keeping themselves in this game right when it looks like Empire is getting that momentum. One lane of Barracks, not crippling yet. Tiny, one of the better heroes at dealing with AoE creep clear.
Just one lane of racks, though. So Empire still going to look at this stage, when you go to Tiny and all that, this is not exactly that bigger damage you just took. A Spectre buyback for a lane of racks. Obviously, they'll keep taking that change.
On the Wisp, Aloha Dance about to be punished here. Gets silenced. Force staff from the Centaur to buy him some space. Silence says, see ya. I'm keeping myself alive. And we're going to disengage.
Asus.Polar want that Game 5 decider here.
Absolutely. And they are playing like they want it. Refresher on the mag, down for another 2 minutes. Tiny has respawned, though. And they will hold on.
Asus.Polar would love a Roshan right now. They're going to be poking in a little too early, though.
30 seconds here. Wisp will be up in 20.
They'll have a little window without the Wisp, and Tiny already sending illusions to try to scout it out. They don't know the Roshan timer.
Yeah, middle of the road, and Asus.Polar will not hang around for any undue time. They get a ward up on the high ground, both teams with vision in this valuable area.
Well, Mag now 4K got on his Night Stalker. A late game Acceptor could be very potent for him, although buyback, of course, is always going to be the name of the game. And I think for Asus.Polar, risking Roshan when Illidan doesn't have buyback is just a non-option almost. I think they'd be more confident defending the high ground than trying to contest a Roshan. Like, that's a game loser. You're against Wiz Tiny. You lose a fight, it's all over. There's no coming back at that point.
100%. It just takes one good RP, one good relocate, hell, even just one good disruption to set up on that Illidan, and that could very well be game. He's their big damage dealer. He's the core of their net worth next to the Brewmaster. They need him alive. Roche, respawned, ready to hand out some cheese.
Are they risking this? This is a big call to make here.
Dire have no vision in this area now
on
this side of the pit, so they can't confirm it, and this risk may well pay off. Here's the movement, though. Silent on his way over. Nope, doubles back.
Illidan, walks past the Dire ward here, so Dire may be where are they?
They smoke. This is going to be close. I think Asus can finish off Roche in time. They can. Aegis of the Immortal.
Illidan's
not picked up. It's on the ground. Oh, no. The Aegis still hasn't been grabbed. It's snatched by the Centaur. Asus about to get punished. They could be on their last leg. For Vengeful Spirit, the first one to go down. Illidan just trying to live. Mag will get left behind. BKB on. Will not be able to survive. It's a 1 for 2. Lil Hardy on the run. Oh boy, Brew still in split form. He's going to get locked down. The Grave buys him some time to get back into Panda form. It's a close call to blink back, but Phobos still punished, and RP used to secure the kill. Oh boy, what's the buyback status here, Parker?
They have it, but that was just everything going wrong. I don't know what it was. That was the biggest just brain fart of all. This Illidan Spectre, there's this little spot where that ward was. He got trapped in trees. He was just trapped right here. Dazzle had to leave the Roshan pit to come force-staff him out, and that's while the fight was going on. It was a 5v3 with Spectre and Dazzle not even in the fight because of that.
Oh boy, no harm on the Spectre. Brew buys back, has the refresher.
Yeah. I think the buybacks alone will force Empire off because they don't have the Aegis. They don't want to just... End of the day, they say, this is a win for us. We just forced 2 buybacks. Let's just back off, look for another good fight. The fact they could do that, I mean, looking at Asus.Polar's vision on the map, they have amazing vision for this stage. 50 minutes in, they've got wards around the Roshan pit, around their own jungle, around mid lane, and still, Empire find a fantastic opportunity to engage.
Yeah, now they rendezvous. All 5 of them group up. They're topped off. Cooldowns starting to come back.
Refresher Spectre coming up. I like this pickup. Having double Haunt here, the 7-second duration, this is just going to, this is like a guaranteed kill. It's like a Zeus Ags refresher in the late game against someone like a Shadow Demon. He's just dead almost from full HP.
Yoki will have an RP up in 20 seconds. He has the refresher available already. Tiny, everything he needs to make this happen.
Illidan just needs to farm this last camp. He's like, I'm so close, guys. I'm 8 gold short. Here we go.
All right, he picks it up.
That's
there
Centaur
are
camp.
3 buybacks down for Asus.Polar. All of the cores, their glyph is standing. Illusions come in to finish off the ranged barracks. Silent hops forward. There's your first haunt. They disengage.
Swap
they
back.
use the Stampede. Swap onto Silent, but he's BKB'd. He's okay for now. Empire will back out. There's your second haunt. Asus, they really want this, and it could be costly. Now they reinitiate. They go on to Phobos before he can BKB. The Grave buys him some time. He gets off the first split. Now Aloha Dance, stunned up. Mag goes in, BKB on. The Wisp stays alive with a defensive disruption. Now the RP. Asus getting cleaned up. Night Stalker. Brewmaster down. No buybacks available. Illidan barely alive. The 4-step out. The next RP. Asus.Polar cleaned up. It's Empire, but they're all low. Spectre, the Rampage! Resolution!
Oh my fucking god!
That's the game. Empire.
Oh! Fighting tooth, nail, and claw to try get through Empire. That Spectre did so much damage in the last second with the Grave. Resolution with like 300 HP. He did have a buyback anyway, so I think even if he got the kill on the Tiny, it wouldn't be enough.
Asus.Polar, they'll
Is
hang
this
in
it?
till the bitter end, but this is it. They have no buybacks. They're all dead. The Tier 4s go down, and it will be Empire that take first place in the Star Ladder Season 11 LAN Finals. What a game to end this tournament, gods. My God. Spectre, buyback. He's going to kill Resolution, maybe. Can he actually do this? He kills the Tiny. Silent,
from Tiny.
he's chopping that wood. He's chopping the wood, but he dies. It's not over yet.
Can he stop Resolution?
Oh, Resolution's here. He's got the Whomping Willow, and they do it. It's Empire coming out on top. What an insane match. I have not seen a game that back and forth in a long, long time. A series